Just my brain makes it doesn't work. Welcome back, and we will continue now with Hiro Tanaka. So please step up. You're welcome. As always.
Hello everybody, my name is Hiro. Thank you so much for listening. So I'm interested in traveling and encountering some random stuff during travel. So I travel by myself, or sometimes I travel with friends, or sometimes go on tour with bands, just get on the band and travel around the US or Europe. So these are the photos I took during traveling in US and Europe. So just going to different cities every day, staying at different places every night, meeting lots of people. Just so many things just happen on the road.
So it's both Europe and the States? Both.
Yeah, US and Europe. So this is a PDF from the book.
Is it one long journey or different?
I did many travel, just alone or with friends or with bands. It's just different. I toured with many different bands too.
Do you always bring your camera with you? Or?
Yeah, all the time, and just snapping.
Is it all digital or are you using analog?
It's all digital, because I used to shoot film, but if I travel for like 2 months or 3 months, I end up having like, too many films like that. Okay? So it's a little bit too much to carry around. That's the end of the book. Chicharron? I just like the sound, and I like the food also.
What is chicharron?
Chicharron is a pork skin.
The pork skin?
Yeah.
in Spain?
Yeah, in Spain or in Mexico, or people put chicharron in tacos. It's good stuff.
They put chicharron in tacos. Okay.
For how long have you been taking these photographs?
Pardon?
How long time have you been?
Oh, for these? Maybe like 4 or 5 years.
It feels like it's a huge material that you have edited. It feels like you have chosen from a huge material.
Yeah, I have so many photos I've taken, so I just nailed down to 100 for this book.
I was thinking about the...
Please have a seat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was thinking about the cover. The cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, how did you think? Is this the way that you...
Yeah, this is the border, because when you travel, so you meet so many people, right? Like, especially when you go on tour with bands, you just meet so many different people that you don't know. But everybody has a border.
Yeah.
But we all passed the border, then we became friends, or you go into the community, then people help each other. And many times I stay with friends' house, so they just welcome you into their house, but you complete this stranger, but they don't care. They just help you out. So I thought the border would be the key to travel.
But do you know the people in the photographs at all?
I know some people, but I don't know some people in the photos. It's mixed of everything.
I think it's interesting because all the images are more or less of things that we have constructed. That is, everything is no nature or landscape or anything like that. Everything that we have made, if it is architecture or a sign or everything, but everything is made by us.
I was thinking about the juxtapositions.
For the
Yeah, how are you thinking?
I usually edit photos with my instinct.
Microphone.
So I don't really think about. Oh, sorry. I don't really think about the like images because all the images have like lots of information, especially for me because I took those photos. And when I look at the photos, I think about the things in the photos and all the experience. But I try to cut all the like connection with photos and me. And try to edit. It's just the instinct, but maybe it does something with the colors or shape or texture or anything. But I don't really think about it. Just edit.
Have you been manipulating the photos very much in terms of the colors? They're very, very...
I do, yeah, I do. Like I use color to make the color. And I don't cut it up or anything. I don't do any like cropping, or it's just the colors.
Okay. Angel, what is your impression?
I'm just thinking about the chicharrón.
Angel is from Spain and he misses his chicharrón.
Yeah, but no, I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about you and the sense that I mean the title is quite fun, but it's a kind of extra that you add to the meal in a way. I don't know. It's like if this collection of work was part of the this is the chicharrón.
No.
Okay. Sorry. But you know, you have selected all these parts from your life in the last years, and then make a little.
Parts.
Yeah. But the style is you know, maybe we can assimilate it to some other photographers that we know, maybe like Terry, no, Richardson.
Richardson?
No, I mean this kind of frontal flash.
Yeah, it's a bunch of flash.
And marking power, of course.
Yeah, like saturated
Two
colors.
milk switch.
Yeah. And I mean, in that sense, like as for example, you and as Martin Barrow work, you know, he will go about his life producing a body of work, but we'll be able to make a selection from different times for a particular project. You know, you're saying that sometimes photographers may work in a brief, or sometimes some photographers may approach their practice as, you know, everyday work, and then at some point they stop and reflect, and then put some work together, and there's some sort of title that feels like this is more coming from that side. So there's a sense that it's I don't know, you feel somehow fresher, and the work is I don't know, even the book is easier to flip through, as it's very accessible, and it's fun and uncompromising, and yeah, it's full of fat, and yeah.
How do you choose and select your images? Why do you decide to take a certain picture and publish it?
It's all instinct. Like when I take a photo or editing, it's just I just take and I just choose.
But like Annika said, there's a lot of fat and there's a lot of close-ups on food and juicy stuff. Instinct.
Yeah, just instinct.
But it's funny because it actually feels very American, even though maybe there's more Europe here.
Yeah.
It
Actually, we include the from Canada and the Japan too.
But somehow it feels like, what it could be like an American trip or some sort of.
Absolutely.
And then, looking at the characters that you found but I think it's-
Sarah, you mentioned Lars Thunbjörk, the Swedish photographer. How much similarities do you see between Hiro and him?
I'm thinking of the flatness of the images
Okay.
and flash. But I'm also thinking of a scrapbook when I'm looking in your book, but more of a Tumblr blog or something online,
Yeah, because
where
it's
images are just
it's kind of
popping up.
accumulation of everything.
Yes,
Yeah, experience.
and globalization and digitalization.
And the society that we have built that we are living in now.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting because it's that idea of having just releasing work. There is no need for it to be a connection other than this is your practice. This is the way you photograph, the way you look at things, and the way you present things. So it will be a different project maybe from Brenda in that sense. But yeah, more like a log of different aspects of your life.
It's more like a diary. It's a little bit more private than if you look at Thunbjörk or Martin Carr or something like that. They are not as private. This is a little bit more private because it's probably because you choose it through your instinct and.
They feel more staged in many ways, I think, even if they aren't.
But I think it's interesting because Thunbjörk, he took most photography of Sweden, and he was a Swede and living here. But you from Japan go abroad to another culture, so maybe that's a difference as well. I don't know.
It's also interesting to see the different stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be easier to see another culture because you haven't grown up there or you're not part of it in a sense.
Is it important to you, Hiro, to do this work and take these pictures in Europe or in the United States? Or could you have done it in Japan in an environment that you were familiar with as well?
It doesn't matter, I think. I started taking pictures in Japan too. So.
But you must have made a decision that not to do it in Japan, to do it in US and Europe instead.
It's an interesting country.
Yeah, so it was more like you wanted to explore. Yeah.
The culture is so different. Especially go on tour with bands, they have a total different scenes.
Who did you go on tour with?
Oh, I did a tour with many bands. Oh, I did a tour with many bands.
Yeah.
So.
With bands?
Music, yeah.
Yeah, like music bands, mostly punk rock or indie rock.
Are you a musician or did you follow them?
I used to play, but not anymore, just
Okay.
photos.
So you did not follow them as a photographer, you were there more as a musician?
So when I travel with those people, I do everything. Like I help them, like setting up, or sometimes I try to sell their stuff, or I just do everything. It's kind of like being a family with those people.
Somebody mentioned the word journal here. Would it be possible to change the order of the photos, how they're published? Or is it important the way you have...
It's possible to change, yeah. I can even change the cover, or... Yeah, I'm open for anything.
Yeah. I would really consider the choice of the cover.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's not... I think it's... it doesn't represent what's in the book. And it doesn't always need to represent it, but it could represent it in the material or whatever. I mean, you could do it that in lots of ways.
Yeah.
But to have the stripes, for me, I mean, for you it is borders. For me, it's actually stripes in pink and grey. Yeah, and for me, I don't get the connection because you have so much energy and so much going on in the book, and you have this very, very organized. So, and I like the idea of border and that probably that you enter a border and something opens up.
Yeah.
I would see, I think you're thinking in the right direction,
Okay.
but I don't see that
Oh.
in the stripes. So I would continue thinking about that.
I love this gentleman in the cover.
Yeah.
And he appears,
Amazing.
Yeah.
he appears many times, or at least
Yeah.
twice, doesn't he?
This guy makes you happy.
You
But
know this guy?
the title as well, Charon, I think is quite playful.
Yeah, I think the title is great.
Is it great even for a person who does not understand what chicharron is?
Yeah, because I think no, but I didn't understand what it is. So for me, it was actually a word that I
Yeah, it sounds kind of good too.
So that's fine.
I think it adds a story to the
Yeah.
book. I think otherwise it's chaotic, but with it, it makes sense that it is chaotic.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Any reflections from you when you see the chicharron collection? And Hiro, do you have any thoughts or questions that you would like to?
I just want to say thank you for everybody to be here,
Thank you.
spend
Thank you.
time doing this. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hiro. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. And so, I think we'll head right on to participant number 4, our fourth and last finalist, that is Lucio Doretti from Italy. Welcome, Lucio. And the name of Lucio Doretti's work is How My Birthday Changed. You have changed your title? Oh, you changed his title recently. Okay. Have a microphone here and enjoy. This is number 2. Microphone number 2. Just a second. Number 4.
There you go.
Hello everyone. First of all, I want to thank you for bringing me here from Italy. And I am Lucio, I'm 25, and I'm shaking. And I would like to start with an extract of a book, of an Alan Moore book, because in some ways where and when I start this book, this project. So, until your mother loves a man, she has very reason to hate. And that of that union, of the 1,000 million children competing for fertilization, it was you, only you that emerged. To distill so specific a form from that chaos of improbability, like turning hair to God. That is the thermodynamic miracle. But if my birth, if that's a thermodynamic miracle, I mean, you could say that about anybody in the world. Yes, anybody in the world. But the world is so full of people, so crowded with these miracles, that they become commonplace and we forget. I forget.
And that extract was from?
From Watchmen, a novelist. This is a comic book. And so I start thinking, and I thought to try to find out what happened during my birthday, the same day of my birthday. And I found out that the July 16, 1945, there's been the first atomic test in the desert of Alamogordo. And the same day, 24 years later, so the July 16, 1969, there's been the first moon landing. Man left for the moon. And I was born on July 16, 1991. So I think that would be interesting to connect these two events with other coincidences. I'm a little bit obsessed with coincidence and with number. And go on. This is the project. This is the new title. I lit candlelit the following and other coincidences on existence. A lead candle lead the following, it's quite easy, and the other coincidence is because this is the first volume, I'm working on a second volume, obviously about coincidence. And I try to create a photographic novel, like a flow. These are not serial photography, and so I just create a story with web images, archive images, and images that I shot. So this is the first part, the part about atomic bomb. I took some iconographic photography of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki disaster. And
You were there?
no,
No, but I mean, have you been there?
never, said never. It's a long journey. But I've been in Japan. Like, this project was, and I use a lot of writings, and that was always being a big problem because I love writing, and I don't know if writing next to a picture can add or take it out the meaning, or I don't know, maybe an open image can help your imagination and you can imagine everything, but I love writing, so I do things on my own way. And every single image is like a metaphor of the war, of the violence, of the cancer in this case. And this is at the middle of the book. It's where the time crossed, the time. So this is the passage to the first event, the atomic bomb, to the second event.